to your language. And in the meantime, I create my own. Indeed. Let's stop this. No. Stop it. I create my own. Good morning. Wow, my hair looks sort of terrible. Whatever. Actually, so I don't look at it, I'm going to take my spectacles off. So, what I was thinking about and reading about this morning, which has made me think about it more, is obedience. That's kind of my thought for the day, I guess. O-B-E-D-I-E-N-C-E. Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe. There was a Sunday school song I used to sing as a kid, that song. And I can't remember, I made up other words for it because, you know, my general view of humanity, which then I found a resonant harmonic note biblically, and then it sort of played out in my experience. Now, of course, you could say that's because I already thought it in the first place, so of course that's what I was going to see. But anyway, that general view is human beings do not like to obey. We don't like being told what to do. We don't like, if you tell, I don't know, I for one know, almost 99.999999999% of the time, if you go, hey, don't blah blah blah, I'm probably going to do it. If someone's like, oh, I hate being tickled, I'm probably going to try to tickle you. But I think there's kind of a streak like that in almost everybody. Although actually I've met some people who really like being told what to do. I don't know, there's some frameworks in which I do too. Anyway, but you know, that's kind of what I've been thinking about, is that I was reading this kind of cool little thing, it was in my devotion this morning, that was talking about that the way in which Christ calls you to obey is kind of interesting, because it's not just like, obey or be damned, because I know that's kind of the fire and brimstone thing that is definitely leaked out into culture, and I feel like people you might be hearing a lot of today, if people are sending you links that somehow relates to Obama, please ignore them, honestly, most of them anyway, because like I said yesterday, all this stuff really doesn't matter that much. At least I know that God is much more interested in the condition of your souls than he is who is governing your particular theoretical plot of land that you've decided is separate from other plots of land that are right next door to it or across the ocean from it or all that stuff. Nations are kind of silly, just so you know. But the nation of God's children, not so silly. It's kind of lovely. Anyway, Christ kind of calls you to obey even hard stuff, but not with a or die. He says, I'm the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. So that's kind of like, come to me or you die. That's in there. But the obedience, it's not like do my will or be crushed. It's not that. It's honestly, and they made this corollary with Christ's life or whatever, since he had to die, be tortured, and die in order to blood sacrifice for all those who had fallen short of the glory of God. And he didn't do it, he didn't become the redeemer of our souls in order to obey the Father. Or, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't have to obey in order to be that. He actually did that just out of joy and love, out of joyful obedience. He already was that. And the doing was actually just a joyful doing, just a joyful obedience, knowing that you're actually not being led astray. And I, as an actor, totally understand that, and I, as a human being, totally understand that. I also understand how tricky it is, because we don't ever want to obey, regardless of why. But as an actor, I get it, because as an actor, I totally do want to obey. I mean, like, when I'm in my actor mode, I want, and I'm not improvising. I want my lines. I want to be told what to say, and I want a director to really tell me, give me the framework for how to do it. And then, as actors out there anyway, actors who are watching this, it's not as though you become an automaton or an inhuman, or you somehow lose anything by having to do that. It's actually kind of enabling. And if you're happy about it, and you like the director, and you like the script, it's a joyful experience. It's actually very freeing, and you still have all this artistic passion behind it and whatnot. Anyway, so I'm just trying to explore that today, and try and just listen and obey, because it's been yielding just sweet fruit. It really has, because I've been just trying to listen more and obey more and reach out more and speak His truth more, instead of just kind of like having it be my own quiet personal journey or whatever. And it's been lovely. It really has. And the more I go about His plans and less mine, the better it works, man. And then my plans still get done too. I'm still getting all this stuff done. It's awesome. Like yesterday, basically, I got to help 2 people yesterday, basically, in real and tangible ways. And I won't go into super details, but one of them literally was like feeding the hungry, and the other was just kind of, I guess, helping provide succor to, succor? I don't know, whatever. You know what I'm talking about, S-U-C-C-O-R. To someone who was in pain and scared, and I was able to help, I guess, by not even being there, but just trying to help, because just by loving, I guess, just by loving and obeying His commands, not out of, like, obligation, gotta do it, but just be like, ooh, here's an opportunity to obey. Let's see how this goes. And it really tends to go quite well. So yeah, I'm trying not to be such a willful little boy, and go and obey, and have fun, and do it, and obey it out of love for my Father and my Redeemer, not out of like, oh, it must be done, because I've had the tendency throughout my life just to be like, nope, that's the way it is, because I'm kind of a black and white person, and I was like, no, you just do it or you don't do it, that's all there is to it. But I don't know, there's something more subtle there that I'm trying to figure out and take joy in, and just be obedient to his will. So that's what I'm going to try to do today. Hope you have a fun day. Fun, passion-filled day. Either full of obedience or not. Whatever it is. Itchy eye. So yeah, that's it. O-B-E-D-I-E-N-C-E. Obedience is the very best way to show that you believe. Doop boop.